All right. So this one is called Chem Mystery. I know how to spell chemistry. It's a play on words. So relax, people. So Chem Mystery, and then right at the top, you'll see it says matching terms, then safety, accuracy, and precision, density calculations and applications. And all that information that you can see right there on the front cover. The way this class works, and I'll repeat this often, but you got to make sure you kind of understand it. The way the class works, it's competency based. What I mean by competency is that each one of these, 1 through 10, on the actual final exam, the test, not the final, the test for Chem Mystery will have 10 separate quizzes. And if you pass all 10 of them, you get 100%. So the matching terms, I think there's 11 of them. To get a perfect score, you have to get 8 out of 11 of them correct. And if you get 8 out of 11, oh no, I didn't do that. This could be ugly for a second. If you get 8 out of 11, then you get 100%. That's really tricky when it's on all three. But if you get 7 out of 11, any guesses what percent you get? You're allowed to speak. I know it's first hour, so you don't feel like it, but any ideas? No? Nobody? It's okay. I'll talk for you today. Okay. If you reach competency, 8 out of 11, you get 100%. If you are below, so like 7 out of 11, you'll get 0%. Competency means you either got it or you did it. Now that sounds kind of harsh, but at the same time, 8 out of 11 isn't 100% either, right? So the way the class works, once you meet the competency level, you get 100% on that section. So the matching test, let's say you get 6 out of 11, so you got 0%. Whoops. Then you just come back into B time and take it again. And once you get 8 out of 11 or higher, you get 100%. And we pretend like this never happened. It's really pretty easy in the long run. Chemistry can be difficult. Not really this unit. Overall, this was pretty easy. So is the next one, but it gets harder. So that's why we have like a little bit of wiggle room where you don't have to be perfect to get a perfect score, but you at least have to establish a minimum. We'll do some really hard math questions in part B, where if you get 3 out of 5 of them correct, you get 100%. So that's really 60%, and I'm giving you 100. But they're pretty hard, so I feel like that's fair. So on the front cover, there should be no surprises. The next test, which is like a week and a half from now, you're going to have a quiz on matching terms. You're going to have a quiz about safety. You're going to have a quiz about accuracy and precision, density calculations and applications, experimental design concepts and boxes, percent error, kinetic theory, lab application, and reading measurements accurately. Those are the things that I feel, well, me and Goddard and Cullimore, we feel are the most important things that you should be able to know before we go to the next section. Fair enough? Okay, now I should have just kept this up while I did that speech. If we look right here, you'll notice it's closed to you, if I remember right. You can't start it even if it is open. But in the Chem Mystery section, this is what we're starting right now. We're starting this lab book. You'll have note and lab pages. So if you were gone, so like someone today, there's a few absent. We're talking about measurement again in units. And so it has the lecture videos from last year right here. This one didn't work very well. So that's why I'm recording right now to replace that one with you people today. So if you ever miss, just look at whatever the next page in the lab book is. And you can see if you open the lab book for a second, you'll see that the title is deleted on the top. That was a big fail. At the top of page 1, it should say measurement again in units. I don't know why it doesn't say that. I must have deleted it by accident. But You can, if you're ever gone, you can come here on Canvas, find the section that you're missing, and there's note pages and class recordings for all of them. Okay, now coming here, every unit will have practice quizzes. The practice quizzes says chemistry matching practice. Looking at the front cover, what's the very top thing say you have to do for your exam? You guys are going to kill me. It says matching, right? Everyone listen. This practice quiz right here, chemistry matching practice, is the exact same as the chemistry matching on the exam. You can take it an unlimited amount of times. Now it shuffles them, okay? So you don't just memorize them in order, but there's no reason to not know what's coming. If you look on the front cover as well and scan the QR code, any guesses where that takes you? You're not going to talk. You're not going to talk anyway. I'll just tell you that takes you to the matching term on the Quizlet. So like, there's no reason to not get a perfect score on the matching terms. Okay, most units, most of the quizzes have practice versions that reference the exact same question banks as the real exam will. You can know pretty much every single question before you take the test if you do all these practices. This one, it doesn't have 10 like the actual test does, because some of them on the practice one are combined, in case you're wondering. Okay, if you look down here, and this part will be locked to you, you won't be able to start it. You might see the titles, but it looks like it's a little out of order. Fix that. Oh, can I fix that with this? I can't. But anyway, it goes matching, safety, accuracy, precision, density, experimental design box, percent error, kinetic theory, taking measurements, experimental design boxes again. They're the same things right on the front cover. There's no secrets in chemistry. You will know everything that's coming at you if you do my number one expectation, which was you try. If you come to class and you try, we'll take practice quizzes together, but you can take them at your house as well, as many times as you need, so you feel prepared for my exams. So most kids don't take retakes in this class because you don't need to, because you took the retake 10 times before you actually took the real test. That kind of makes sense. I think that's the better way to teach, but that's just me. This one, by the way, if you ever look at it and you're like, why is it worth 0 points? This is a written prompt that you like give to me, and then I just grade by hand. So that's why it says 0, but it is on the test. It's not that hard, I promise. Okay, so every unit will be the same. You'll have the resources that will have practice quizzes, those, then you'll have a test. All the stuff will be on the front cover of every lab book, so you know what's coming. If you put in effort, it's extremely hard to not get at least a B in this class. All right, so let's just jump in now. So go ahead and open. We're going to talk about accuracy and precisions. There again, there's the QR code for the exam or the matching terms. Matching terms for this section aren't really that awful because you've probably heard them before. All right, so accuracy, and I'm going to go pretty quick through these parts because I don't know, they're words that hopefully you use in your life before. You've learned them in science before maybe, but accuracy is how close a measurement comes to an accepted value. So in chemistry, we measure a lot of things. If I tell you I want you to measure out, 15.5 grams of something, all right, so 15.5 grams, and then you come up and you're like, all right, I did, and I look at it and it's 8.9 grams, that's an 8. You weren't very accurate. Like you were garbage. This would be like how my daughter cleans her room. Like, hey, I cleaned it. Like, no, you put one pillow on your bed and that's it. All right. We want to be close in science. It's pretty important that you're accurate. Like if they're over there at Autoleave making your airbag, just a half mile away, and they need exactly 2.187 grams of explosive in your airbag, and someone's not paying any attention and they put in 0.5 grams, well, your face is going to hit the steering wheel, right? You're going to die because they were too lazy to be accurate. If they put in 5.5 grams, then your airbag is really a brick wall coming at your face because it's too pressurized and that will kill you. It's important in some instances to be extremely accurate in our measurements. And autoliv, extreme tolerances that they have to meet. We have literal rocket science going on 10 miles west. They are to the 10,000th place with their accuracy. It's important that we are accurate. All right, precision is how close a group of similar measurements comes to each other, or whether it's reproducible. And this is really important. It is important to hit your mark, but it's super important to be able to hit it over and over and over. So back in the day, and even last night actually, I like to play Frisbee golf, right? Whether that's nerdy or not, I don't even care, but I beat Tyler. Yep. All right, in Frisbee golf, you know, you got your tee box right here, then you're gonna throw, all right, then you have your basket right here and all the chains like up here. With me? You tee off and you land right here, that's pretty accurate, right? Does that mean you're the greatest Frisbee golfer of all time? We don't know yet. Maybe you got lucky. If you tee off and your next one ends over here, well, then that was a fluke, right? But if you put the next 4 or 5 right there, well, you're pretty good. And this was just a mistake. If we can repeat things, that's when they become more valid. So precision is really important. When we take measurements, we want them to be close and we want them to be close together. That's what precision is. On your exam or quiz or whatever, if you ever have precision, you must have more than one total measurement. Okay, so if you're ever reading the prompt, like the question, and it says, 3 people did this, it's not asking you much about accuracy. It's probably talking about precision. If it just says, hey, you observed one thing and you were right, well, then you're probably looking at accuracy. Precision requires more than one measurement. All right. I used to golf with Mr. Parker, and he's a pretty bad golfer. To be honest, I'm pretty bad too, so it doesn't really matter. But he would tee off, pretend this is just golf. Let's see, he's left-handed. Hold on, I gotta play it out here. So the hole would be that way, I'm not joking. And he would line up like, no, he's left-handed. Like this, whatever. He would almost be perpendicular to where you usually line up. And you're like, Parker, if you hit that ball straight, we're screwed. Like, don't hit it straight. He's like, I never hit it straight. All right. He was not accurate at all, but he was really precise in that his hit always seemed to go almost 90 degrees opposite of where he was aiming. So, hey, if you can repeat the same wrong thing and end up the right way, was it really wrong? I don't know. It's up to you. Okay. Precision. Multiple things come close together. So in this picture, turn and talk to your partner if you would. That's the person right next to you. These 3 darts landed right there. Would you discuss whether that is accurate, precise, both, or neither of them? I demand that you make noise right now, my friends. Any idea?
Yeah.
What?
Precise.
Precise. Okay. You agree, Noah? New kid Noah, back row. You guys agree? Well, now, even if you didn't, you'd be too scared. All right, my man, precision. Okay, good. They're not super precise. If you play darts, actually, they're not that bad either, because the #1 place to throw it is right here if you actually play darts. But whatever, they're all 3 pretty close together, right? So we would say this is precise. If in this analogy, we want to be dead center here. Okay, anyone really play darts? Yeah, I actually, during COVID, I bought a dartboard. All right, in my basement alone. Ba-ding, ba-ding. But yeah, you just want to hit that spot over and over and over. That's where your money's made. But anyway, moving on. If things are together, they're precise. If they're not in the middle, they're not accurate. Okay, next, tell your partner what this one is. All right, Shelby, you're alone. What do you think it is? She thinks it's both. Who can support my lonely friend Shelby? Raise your hands. All right, good. It's definitely both. It's in the dead center. and there's more than one. This person is really good at darts, probably. All right. Now, I forgot. Would you personally put 3 X's on your first drawing, like right here, and then label it that this was precise? You're going to label all 3 of them. So the first one was precise or precision. It's up to you how you feel. If I seem a little off my A game, I woke up early and drove, and I didn't get any caffeine. Oh, it was too scary. It was all hands on deck. Someone failed their road test today and get a negative 17 today. And one of them told me to shut up. Yeah, chumps. Right, so that one was precise. The middle one, we just said it, 3 X's right in the middle. That one would be accurate and precise, so both. This new projector is so much more high def than my old one. So weird. But it's kind of annoying. The size of this is different, so I've had to resize every slide. So I don't know if it was worth it. Okay, I bet you can probably take a guess what the next one is, but we will, oh, hey, there we go. Well, whatever, I guess I had that slide in last time. So tell your partner what's this, then draw it and then label it, and I'm gonna walk around. See if I can get some steps in on my watch. I gotta put Payson somewhere where his legs aren't in the way all the time. All right, not hopefully rocket science so far. This person's not good at darts. This person could definitely use some training. It probably throws like my kids. I got that dartboard, and the first thing, like, it's on a wall. Okay, then it's on this really pretty thing my wife made so the kids wouldn't hit the wall. I can't draw very well, so just eat it. Okay, you can't probably either. All right, it's like the first day we have this huge thing where it's like, okay, there's no way you're gonna hit the wall, and my daughter stuck it in the ceiling. Like, it was amazing. Like, all right, thanks, Carly. I didn't realize I had to build a thing that covered the ceiling too. But moving on, you don't care. Okay, this was neither. Outside, outside, outside. They're not very accurate. They're not very precise. All right, so that's pretty simple. There is already a quiz you can do on that. It's really kind of basic. We'll do this. Yeah, I don't even have it on there yet. Oh, wait, down here. Yeah, that one's so not that bad. I don't even have a practice quiz for it. Okay, so let's just jump in now to significant figures, which can be significantly confusing to a lot of people. But in normal chemistry, we don't spend a huge amount of time on this. Just AP chemistry, and then in college, they seem like it's the only thing they're ever going to teach you. All right, does that sound about right? Yeah, it's like, okay, I get it. Can we do something else besides you make fun of me that I keep getting it wrong? All right, significant figures. When we take a measurement, so these are numbers that are reported from an observation. When we talk about those, all the digits in the measurement that can be accurately known plus one last digit that must be estimated. That's what a significant figure is. So what we mean by that, okay, I got my graduated cylinder here. And it's graduated, which means it has lines that we can read to measure. You all right with that? And then we'd put, you know, like, hey, it's about to there. We would look at everything that we know, and then we'd have one last guess. Now, what I want to use a little analogy here, and I want my good friend Hilton to stand up for a second. Would you mind doing that? Okay, this is an interactive activity. Okay, now I'm not bullying, and I don't want anyone to say it out loud, but on your paper, will you guess her height, your best estimate to how tall she is? All right, you can take a guess too, Ellie, and you can sit now. Okay, so anyone, you have her height, right? All right, Payson, will you stand up? All right, will everyone take an estimate of his height? Okay, that's pretty hard. Did everyone write it down? All right, turn to your partner and tell them what your two guesses were. So when someone's dead, right, and they claim, I was right, now we know they were telling the truth and not just lying. Really? You are cool, but you're you were the only one guaranteed to get your height right, and you didn't even write it down. Okay, so how tall are you? 5'0". Okay, who had 5'0"? Raise your hands. Did anyone have 4'11"? Two people. Did anyone have 5'1"? 5'2"? 5'2" is the mode right now. Do you remember what mode means? The most repeated value. Is that right? Okay, 5'2". So most people in the room thought you were 5'2". 5'3"s? 5'4"s? Not a chance. Okay. Now I was shocked walking around how many people think you're 5'11". There's no way you're 5'11". How tall are you? What's that? Probably like 6'2". 6'2". Any reason why I know he's not 5'11"? I'm pretty close to 5'11", my personal self, and I know I look up to him. All right, so he's 6'2". Now, go with me here. How many put 5'11"? Like all these people right here, which is fine. We're good. We're still friends. Who put 6'0"? Okay, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Anyone put 6'5"? Like you completely can't measure with your eyes? Okay, the mode was 1 inch off on you and 2 inches off on you. That's really not that big a deal, right? You were all pretty dang close. Here's how this analogy works with this definition. In significant figures, typically when we estimate someone's height, we usually know where the foot is. Like 4 feet, that's a super small human being, right? 6 feet, that's a tall person. And everyone else is 5 something, right? But did we know their exact height? No. So what was this number? I'm just gonna record my other hours and play this. If you're not gonna interact with me, we can just watch last year's videos and I'll drink pop and just relax and get paid to watch myself do work I did a year ago. Doesn't that sound good, reader? Sounds boring to me. All right, the second digit is what we estimated. What we estimated. Okay, now here, this is scary. I want you to estimate my weight. And you must write it down so I can slap some people. Okay, here we go. Estimate how much beautiful Mr. Davidson's perfectly man sculpt Mountain Dew fed body weighs. Well done. I know that you know that's not the right answer, but that was not a bad choice. All right, where we got here? Everyone's underestimating, so I'm not offended. I wish I weighed that much. Where's it at? You're the closest so far, but that's still, wow, you guys are too kind. Maybe it's because I wore black today and it's very slimming. You think I weigh 160 pounds?
I don't know how much pounds weigh.
Exactly. I don't know how much pounds weigh. They weigh exactly 1 pound. Where? Okay, it's because you're scared. Holy, I am fit. It's about time, Newman. Where's it at, my new friend? Oh, I didn't know I was so skinny. Okay, you two are the closest by far. Did you write one yet, or are you scared of me? Oh my laws. You guys are being way, way, way too nice. Who put that my weight started with a 1? Well, you're all wrong. Every one of you. Anyone put a 2 then? Finally, thank you. What'd you put? 200. Did you raise your hand? 230. Okay, you can get out. Just kidding. You're actually a lot closer than everyone, like 160. Like ninth grade, okay. I was 160 in ninth and 10th grade. I am 211.7 pounds. I know that because I weighed in 2 hours ago. All right, I am 211.5. Now, any ideas science-wise why it was a lot harder to know my weight versus, you could probably guess, I already told you, but you would have thought I was kind of close-ish to 6 feet, right? You could have been within an inch or two of my height, right? Why is it harder for weight? Any guesses? Shelby, thank you. All my giant muscles. Yes. And organs and all that. Okay, good. And you don't know how much a pound weighs? Okay, new man. Okay, all of you were very wise and thought, I'm just going to underestimate by 50. I think he's a fat cow, but I'll say he's a gazelle. All right, well, here's the real truth. Most of us height-wise are pretty close to the same value. It's a lot easier to estimate. Most of us weight-wise, like I am twice as much as you. Am I roughly? Yeah, it's a lot bigger difference. And there's a lot bigger range. There's 211 pounds to screw up versus, I'm probably 5 feet something. And I'm not short. So I'm probably not under 5'6" for a male. That's kind of short. Sorry if I offend you. I'm not tall, so I'm probably not over 6. Weight's way harder because it's a lot bigger range. But all of you, I feel very grateful that you all thought I was skinny. You all got probably within 50. No, you didn't. You're within a quarter of my weight. So that didn't go well. But it's everything we exactly know and a guess. Okay, who's weird and notices everything in life? Is there anyone like that with my same disability? Okay, I like drives my wife nuts. I'm a hyperactive noticer. So how many of you have left 7-Eleven and ever wondered why they have the height measurement on the doorway? Anyone ever noticed that? Van, you have? All right. Us nerds have. Okay, you get your drink, you turn, and you're going out the door, and you're like, oh, I am about 6 feet tall. That's not there to measure you. Why is it there? New man. All right, it's there so we know your height if you steal something. And that's not super required, but it really helps. You're like, hey, we just had a redhead kid steal $100 worth of beer. I think he's about 5'8", weighs about 187. I don't know. What do you weigh? I wasn't that bad. Anyway, it's just there to help them quickly estimate the height if someone were to rob it. So if you're ever wondering how tall you are, you can go up against my high jump thing over there, or just go to any 7-Eleven, back up against the middle door, and have your mom put a mark with pencil and write that you're 17. Okay, I took a long time to say that, but when we measure things in science, it's what we can really know, like that we're 5 feet tall, and then we make an estimate. All right, next, measurements cannot be more precise than the least precise measurement and should be rounded. What I mean by that, like how many of you, when you guessed either height, put a quarter or a half? Did anyone go like 6'2" and a half? Nobody did, right? If you say that you thought Payson was 6'2" and a half, that really sounds like you know exactly how tall he is, right? So we don't usually throw in those things. No one guessed my weight was 211.7, because that'd be stalker level 10 if you knew my exact weight. I knew it because I was standing on a scale. So I could report it was accurate. And you could have put he weighs around 200 pounds. That'd be pretty valid way to describe my weight. So we won't, if I measure something that only measures like to the 10th place, so let's say it's 8 grams, but you want to be like flexing on everyone, you're like, I think it's about 8.015 grams. Well, you've overstated how accurately you know the value, and it would be wrong. Um, everything about that would be wrong. So make sure that we round. Now we're going to do some practice on this so that it hopefully makes sense. And that's super bright. Holy smokes. Okay, this picture right here is, it's a triple beam balance or quad beam balance. So it looks a little weird on paper, but it's just trying to show you, that was fun. It's just trying to show you this part. You with me, what this picture is? Okay, so when we measure these, why are there two trays on it? I'm confused too. All right, when we look at these, we record every number we know, and then we add a guess. So follow me here. This can go pretty quick. It's everything we know. So we know it is 100. We know it is because that's pointing right at it, right? We know it's 120. I'm going to put like right here. I know it's 120, and I know it's a 4. I know it's 124. Do I know anything more than that? The answer rhymes with bless. Yes, we know more. Look, we know this measurement is between 0.3 and 0.4. Like we know that as a true fact. You with me? So I know it's 124.3, and then I come down here. Is this like right through here? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and then a 6th. And so it looks to me, I don't know, Maddie, would you say just past, just on, or just before that line? A lot of pressure. She feels like it's on. We're going to say, all right, we know it's 123.430 because it's right on the line. Or sorry, that's not O, a 5. I'm an idiot. The O is coming. It's right on the halfway mark between 0.3 and 0.4. With me? Okay, so we know it's 124.35. Are there any more lines between here and there? No. So I still have one more number, and I gave it away on accident. That's your estimated guess. And we're going to say, all right, it's probably right on the 5. So I'm going to put a 0. 124.350. And that would be, you already put it, that would be your measurement if you were reading this scale. It's everything we knew, which was the 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, and then a guess. Now, if you did this on your test and you put 124.350, that would be right. If you put 124.349, that would be right. If you put 0.351, that would be right. 0.352, that would be right. 48, that's golden. If you put 124.35, you get it wrong. And that's unfortunate. But why you get it wrong is because if we report to this place, that means I only know these parts. But I didn't. I knew these parts, and that's why I had to put a guess on. Okay, now it's a little bit nitpicky. I definitely understand. I don't even really love this, but it is a process. It's kind of weird. It's a way of reporting measurements so that the person reading your measurement knows the accuracy of the tool you use. And that's kind of important. All right, let's look at this one here. Oh, I gotta go way down here. Try and make it big. All right, so this is a ruler. Will you write what you think the measurement of this little bar is right here? Pretend it lines up at the end. I know it's a little off and people get after me for that, but don't worry about that. Report your best guess of what the measurement of that dark bar is. And then after you report it, we're going to do this all year long, and it may annoy people that don't like people. You're going to write your number. You're going to turn to someone by you, and you're going to compare your answers. And then if one of you thinks you're right and the other one's wrong, have that discussion. So do that real quick if you would. Take your guess, then turn to your partner and compare, and make sure that you come up with consensus of what the right answer is. What I'm trying to do, I know you're only juniors in high school, but I'm trying to get you ready to get married. Okay? You're going to have disagreements where you got to come together and find consensus. Sometimes you will be in agreement, and that's just golden. I can't remember the last time it did, but I'm sure it has. Yeah. Where's your guess, Grelis? I like that. Wells? Awesome. Keller? Wow, I checked 3 people. They were all correct. Now, they weren't all the same. That sounds weird. Shouldn't they all be exactly the same? No, you don't have to be, because what's the last number? It's your estimated guess. All right, so we know for a fact and hold this to be self-evident that this is somewhere between 2 and 3. So I 100% have no doubt in my mind it's 2 point something, right? Then there are still lines. So I look right here. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. And to my eyes, that's my head, I guess, it's past the second one, but not past the third. So I know it's 2.2 something. I know that. So what do I do now? I throw on one more guess because I don't know anything more accurate than that. So I'm going to say 2.2 and I don't know, 3, 4, 5, any of those, and then centimeters. Okay. I am not a guy, this might offend Tiffany. I don't mark things wrong if you don't put a unit. You should. But I'm not that like college person where you do perfect on the test, but you left off 4 units, so you have to repeat chemistry 1010. I don't know. Okay, so it's what we know, and then a guess. All right, this is a graduated cylinder. So it would have like the base. Okay, don't do that then. It'd have the base right here, whatever. You need to fill the liquid up, and it comes down to, that's terrible. I'm just not going to try and copy it because you can see it. It goes right to this mark. This one does confuse kids. So most of you aren't wrong. You just read it a tiny bit different. So do the same thing. Look at that measurement, report what you think it is. I'll tell you the unit is milliliters. Maybe every day of this class, I'll find a beautiful smiling person and just leave it on this board. Lilia, I can tell you like that idea. I guarantee I have a picture of you smiling. You're up there tomorrow. Actually, that picture over there with like the jump squad, that's a great pic. I don't know if you have that picture, but it's pretty awesome. Next year you'll be, maybe you are in it actually. I saw your thing. Oh yeah, you're right there, Shelby. You're the maybe tallest one in it. Who's taller between the 2 of you? Well, that picture, it's close. Okay, here we go. Did you have a discussion or did you just all agree and life's perfect and you'll never ever fight? So you're going to be fine. Don't erase anything. You read it one way, they read it a different way. All right. So here we go. This one does confuse a lot of kids. About a third of people think this is 20, and then they think 20.1, 20.2, 20.3, 20.4, 20.5. That's fine. It's not that, but if you did it, that's fine. You did it right. It was just interpreted different. All right, but this is supposed to be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so looking at it that way, we know it's between 20 and 30. We know it's right at the 5 or slightly above it. When you read a liquid measurement, I should have said it, you read from the bottom of the meniscus. So it's right there about on the 5. So I'm going to say I know it's 25. And then what do I have to do? I guess. Yep, the curvy part. All right, if If you interpret it the other way, you got 20.50, which was perfect. That was fine too. Like you learned what I wanted you to learn. There's one of these on the test that it's very similar in that you kind of read it two different ways and both answers are accepted. So I wouldn't stress about that. Okay, of 5 fingers, 5 made perfect sense. You think life's great, down to 1 where you're still completely lost. Be honest, this is a safe environment. So 5 to 1, never flip me off on this activity though. Okay. All right, good. It's not the worst thing we ever do in this class. Okay, we're actually going to do a practice quiz on this when I see you again. That's not till Monday, right? It's not on your grade. Any of the practice quizzes are practice, just to make sure, hey, we got it. Let's not give them a test where they don't know what they're doing. Let's make sure they know what they're doing, and then we'll give them a test. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so usually the bell would have rang and we start the next day with this, but we can just keep on going. We're good. So here is just a conversation for you and your friends. This is the bell starter basically for tomorrow. But you have this graduated cylinder. It's tricky. The white line, I emphasize, that's the meniscus. So you're reading from about right here. Then there's your 20 mark. There's your 19 mark. So tell your partner, you don't have to write this one down. Just have a short discussion. Which one of those is the correct measurement? Now, if of the 4 options you don't like any of them, choose the one that's the rightest to you. Don't argue with me. I've had a rough day. Never in my life have I had a student tell me to shut up on the driver's ed test until today. Okay, what do you think? A? Oh, Hallie's still talking, so I'll relax for a second. No, I want you to discuss. That was good talk, not bad talk. Keep doing it. You're good. Okay, who thinks it's A? Anybody? B, C, and D. Okay, there's 2 right answers. They're B or D. I'll take it. It's a little under 20, so D's the correctest, but B I would have marked correct as well. All right, so next, just a little sliver of notes on the bottom of that page, isn't it? Or is it the top of the next one? Yeah, we'll be good right here. All right, so now, when we have measurements and we compare them to other measurements, we have a tool or some math to determine how accurate or precise they were. We call this the experimental error or the percentage error. One of them's useless in my opinion, and one of them's useful. So for instance, if you got home today and your mom said, how was your day? And you said, good, I only missed 2 on my quiz. If she's a savvy mom, what is she going to say next? Out of how many? Because if it was out of 2, well, you don't. If it was out of 100, you rocked it. 1,000, you're a genius. Way to finish that thing. But that matters. So anyway, here we go. The experimental error is calculated by subtracting the accepted value from the observed value. And this is the one that's really not that great. So if the test was out of 4 and you missed 2, you got 2. That was your error. That doesn't sound bad if you tell mom, I missed 2. Oh, sweet. But if it was out of 4, you failed. All right, the one we care about is the percentage error. We still have 3 minutes, so don't panic that those desks are moving. The percentage error is the comparison of the experimental error to the accepted value expressed as a percent. Because if you tell your mom the percentage on your test, she doesn't say out of how many, like she knows your percent. You got a 98%, that's great. You got a 50%, that's not great. So we will talk about percent error way more than we ever talk about experimental error. Now, this I get asked all year. The sign of the error may be either positive, which means the result is too high. And so that's like you got extra credit. I got 102%, all right? Or I'm 2% off, or 2% high. Or you have a negative, which means you're too low. So your 98%, your error would have been -2 because you were 2 below your expected value. All right, and there is the equation. Percent error, and it's on there. apparently we're done, is the observed minus the accepted divided by the accepted. This is easy to remember to me. It's O minus A divided by A. O minus A divided by A. Now on your exam, you'll be given a periodic table for all of them, and it has that equation on it. So you don't have to memorize it. Okay, bell should ring in 3 seconds. I'm sure it's probably a minute off like it has been all week, but enjoy your minute vacation. Oh, and I'll stop my recording.